Man, look at all this nonsense. For serious. Look at this nonsense. There's just so much nonsense going on. Who approacheth me? Good morning. It should please you to know the purple Pikmin are lodged safely in my hull, for whatever reason. The confines of my interior seem to suit them perfectly, though they do occasionally tickle me. For I am a robot, you might wonder how that works. Try not to think about it. Stand in the ring of light below me and press A to call the purple Pikmin out. Yeah, purple Pikmin are a definite super great asset. In fact, some might actually call them flat out kind of broken, actually. Because they're really good at killing bad guys. Let me demonstrate this to you. Yeah, it's true. A well-timed and aimed Pikmin can kill one of these things instantaneously already, but seriously. What the? Come on. Thank you. Seriously. I aimed that one actually rather well. Don't be pulling that nonsense with me. Why do you have to notice? Jeez. All right, then. Oh, and for the record, you can't get more purple Pikmin out of, like, bringing them. The purple Pikmin will literally just bring it to whatever they randomly decide. Usually it'll be if, say, like, a single red Pikmin is carrying it and a purple Pikmin helps them, they'll always go to the red Pikmin onion and get more in there. The only way to get more purple Pikmin is to find more candy pop bulbs, which are in caverns. You gotta be careful, y'all. Anyway. Ah! See what I mean? They did a real good job. They did a real good job. Anyway, single Tubsy Wubsy, you go ahead and bring that on over. You guys just kind of do your thing, and we got these dudes. They may not look like much, but you gotta watch out for them. They can definitely cause you some problems or two, let me tell you. All right, that being said, let's bring out the red Pikmins too. If for absolutely no other reason than the fact that they're going to be bringing all of these things over here, and eventually they'll reach the cap and I won't have to pluck more Pikmin. Also, Louie, quit being lazy and get your butt over here, you nerd! Obviously, the goal is to get as much red Pikmin as we possibly can. Also, what's happening? Louie, has Olimar instructed you on the peculiarities of the Pikmin creatures? The Pikmin form groups based on color when disbanded with X. So that, you know, you don't accidentally put a single kind of Pikmin in a place they don't want to be in. Grabbing Pikmin with A will also cause them to group by color. Now for the bonus lesson. After grabbing a Pikmin with A, you can press left or right on the D-pad to swap it for another color. So, that's pretty handy. This is the first time you've heard this? Olimar, remember to properly train new employees. Okay, well, in Olimar's defense, this is literally not something that was ever really established when I feel like he took the job at Hocotate. I don't think Pikmin management and treasure relocation and all that good stuff was really ever anything he was expecting to have to teach to others. In fact, I'm almost quite positive that when he left this place the first time, he thought he was never going to have to come back here ever again. Granted, any conceivable time that Nintendo finally decides to get around to making a damn sequel, he will continue regardless for all times. And I'm okay with that because I love the Pikmin games. And let's just dig the little fellows out. Grab as many as we possibly can. Grand total of 94 Pikmin. Not bad at all. That's basically a small army. Boy howdy, am I looking forward to some of the upgrades we're gonna get that'll make this whole thing easier. Alright then, although 94 red Pikmin is another way of saying, or well 94 Pikmin is another way of saying a lot of Pikmin that could end up accidentally dying for whatever reason. And we don't want to deal with any of that. Yep, I see you over there. You ain't getting anywhere. Actually, I think that the ones I'm killing are the non-threatening kind that actually can't kill Pikmin. But I've decided to smite them anyway. Out of spite, you might say. Anyway, you guys take care of that. Don't mind me. I didn't really do a practice playthrough of this game before I started, decided I was gonna let's play it again. So, it's factual information that I'm not gonna remember everything about where everything is. But I'll get there. I'll figure it out. Anyway, look at this noise. Olimar, we have a problem. The onion has ceased ejecting seeds. Is it malfunctioning? Nay! Interesting. It now seems the number of life forms within the onion has increased. Didn't you take note that no more than 100 Pikmin will venture onto the planet at once due to system limitations? I mean, for reasons unknown, but I currently observe only 95 on the surface. Could there be wild Pikmin somewhere? And how would the other Pikmin even know that? Or the onions, for that matter. Also, what exactly is the radius? So many questions, so 0 answers. Anyway, all y'alls get yourselves over here and put yourself in there. Come along now, come along now. There we go, there we go. You can see the grand total of all the Pikmin we have in the way corner, the bottom right. It's 102 now. And there we go. Well, now that we happen to know for a fact that there are wild Pikmin running about. Oh, actually, here's something that's kind of interesting to point out. This is the noise that plays when Olimar uses the C-stick to command Pikmin around. And this is the way his whistle sounds. Louie, on the other hand, gets entirely different ones. This is his C-stick sounds. And this is his whistle. It's more of a train whistle. It's pretty neat. Anyway, I suppose we could hang out as Louie for a wee bit. Alright, so can't do anything about that over there. You mind if I take a quick look at the map? Yep, that's definitely a thing that we need to make note of. Ponder some thoughts. Think-a-do. Alright, well, let's go around the bend and see what kind of nonsense we can maybe do over yonder. Aha! Yes, this was indeed a good strategy on my part. For example, look at this nonsense over here. There's some berries. We're gonna want those berries. But we're also going to want to knock this wall over. Purple Pikmin, I am very much... Wait a cotton pickin' second. That's a big glowy thingamaboober! Big glowy thingamaboober! Drop your weird nectar things! Consume, Pikmin! Consume! Consuming thy nectar causes Pikmin to go crazy pants! The Pikmin that drank the yellow nectar instantly matured into flower Pikmin, which make them stronger and faster. More likely to actually keep up with you. It appears to have enhanced motor skills. What a wondrous nectar. How intriguing. Like plants, Pikmin mature from leaf to bud to flower. Who could have ever assumed such a thing? Captain Olimar, you must share the information you have with your subordinate Louie. Other than maybe just, I mean, we're right next to each other. Don't know why we would, that's a little weird. Anyway, it wasn't all of the Pikmin, but it was a large supply of them. So a good chunk of them are now a whole lot stronger and faster, which means they're gonna be able to do all the things that they do better, faster, and easier than before. All in all, pretty sweet deal. All I gotta do is give them some sweet, sweet, delicious nectar. Of course, it's kind of a, this is a significantly harder to break down wall than the first one we did, because, you know, the first one was made of white materials, and this is black materials, and it's a lot more, you know, sturdily built. So it doesn't look like it's faster, but I assure you, if we didn't have the flowers, this would be taking even longer. Ideally, I'd actually like to be able to find a cavern to go into, but I suppose we'll just have to make do with whatever it is that we can do. All right, come along now, come along now. Come on, we're burning daylight here, people. We've got stuff that needs doing. There we go. All right, all y'alls get over here. And, come on, no, oh, okay. It's okay, Pikmin, you're only mildly impaled. That's not nearly as big of a problem as you might think it is. All right then, yes, you guys just go ahead and carry that over. It's probably safe, let's just say. And we know that the purple Pikmin are most assuredly much, much heavier. And as a matter of fact, yeah, actually doesn't look like we can actually be able to do anything with that. That's unfortunate. There's also pretty clearly a treasure over there that we also cannot, in fact, go get. It's a dark day for all of us. Let me tell you, oh, sweet, merciful James! All right, well, there goes our first Pikmin. And it was a purple one, too. Fantastic, that's not incredibly annoying at all. It's not like those are the extraordinarily hard to get ones or anything. Except it was a lie. It's super annoying and difficult. Alright, well, it is what it is. It was always going to happen. And honestly, it's my fault for not paying close enough attention. Had I managed to, I would have realized that that random flower had eyeballs. Alright, well, seeing as how we've kind of got, you know, limited options available to us. Various Pikmins, if you would be so kind as to collect yon berries. I mean, it would just be pretty swell if we could grab hold of all of these. They're all really useful things to have. That's right, come on. All y'alls, just go ahead and pick yourselves up some berries. Bring them on over to the ship. They've got many uses. Or rather, they have one specific use that's really, really useful. So we're definitely gonna go with that. Ba-ba-bow! Orb! You can't tell, but I'm actually rotating it right now. Astounding! This red berry contains an ultra spicy essence. It does not appear to have any monetary value, but I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. I'll do you one better. I'll give you literally 9 more. Which is just way more than I bet you were expecting. All right, now come on, everyone. Luckily, there did seem to actually be a little something that we're able to go over and jump down into. A cavern is what it's generally called. All right, all y'alls, come on now. Come on. Oh, why did I give a job of carrying something to a purple Pikmin? They're not very swift. Behold, a blobby nonsense. Captain Olimar, my research on the red berries you discovered has yielded a powerful potion. Behold the ultra spicy spray. Although it is untested, I believe it will have a spectacular results. Spray it on all your Pikmin by pressing down on the D-pad. When necessary, I can produce 1 bottle of spray from 10 berries. So, try to get as much of that as you possibly can. You can press start pause to contact me and confirm your berry count. Look at that on the radar screen. By using this stuff, we can basically super duper ultra hypercharge our Pikmin into unbeatable killing machines. Or they can also carry stuff a lot faster if that's something you want to do. And the berries have already come back, which is interesting. Usually takes a little bit longer than that. All right, well, hold on. I mean, if I can help it, I'd very much prefer to have 2 bottles of the stuff instead of just 1. There you go, little dudes. Go and collect all of your various things. We need as much of this spray as possible. It is so handy, you physically do not understand just how handy-dandy it is. Yes, 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 I know. The day is almost done. Don't worry. We're going to stretch space-time a little bit and jump into a cavern in just a moment. I just want to make sure we're properly prepared. Because we're gonna need some more purple Pikmin if we really want any chance of being able to progress in any noteworthy way. All right, then. We got 95 Pikmin, only 9 of them purple. Very depressing, that. But that's okay, that's okay. We're gonna make up those numbers, and that 1 purple Pikmin, he shan't be forgotten. His noble sacrifice of getting eaten by something that I forgot was there. Or rather, let's just say, I was jumped, I was surprised. It wasn't so much a forgot, it was more, I don't know, failed a spot check. Whatever you want to call it. It was my fault. I should have been paying more close attention to the area around me. But, you know, I'll make sure that his sacrifice was not in vain. And I'll be extra mindful in the future. See, there's something about Pikmin games you just kind of got to deal with. You're gonna lose Pikmin, and I know a lot of people obviously don't care because, you know, they're programming and everything. But I'm ridiculously empathetic towards all things, and the fact that I am directly responsible for something's death is incredibly sad to me. So, while unavoidable, I'm really going to try my best to not have it be a thing that happens too often. Anyway, biological sensors are reacting violently. The readings are ominous. A beast of unknown power lurks in these depths. A large Pikmin group would be reassuring. My sound sensors are picking up hostile roars of many beasts. Expect dangerous encounters. Sensors are also showing extreme heat pockets. You may need flame-resistant Pikmin. Well, ain't that great? That's quite literally one of the only 2 things I've got. But my records indicate no such data. Are my records incomplete? Perhaps so. So y'all best start paying very close attention to the nonsense that's going on, my dude. All right, here we go. Let's see what kind of horrifying nonsense and troubles we can get ourselves into. And by that exact same measurement, hopefully out of. Yeah, I'm not too fond of the Hole of Beasts, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I feel like that name could have used another go-over. All right. So, let's check out all these various nooks and crannies for possible goodies. And, more than most likely, horrifying enemies that want us to be dead. Like whatever that thing was. We'll look it up when we leave. Alright, doesn't seem to be much of anything else, though. Just the one. Well, that's why you want to try to attack and move in swarms, you weird little creature. I swear to goodness. Alright then, well, let's go this way first. Hello? Various evil beings that want to murder me dead? Or rather want to consume my flesh for sustenance? Where you be? Oh, 'twas but a big circly-do. Fair enough, universe. All right, interesting. Oh, there we go. That's the one that'll eat ya. Basically, there's two variants of these creatures. One of them one's female and one's male. I don't remember which one specifically is the one that murders and which one's the docile one. It could honestly be either as far as I know. That's also something you want to watch out for. At any conceivable moment, while Pikmin are dragging stuff back over to the ship or whatever equivalent there is at the time, yeah, it's possible that they might run into things that were buried underground and they'll just get eaten and you won't know how they died. You gotta pay attention. Luckily, that was one of the most benign and easy to defeat of the monsters, but we still could have lost somebody. And in this game, every Pikmin is very important. Losing too many is gonna completely ruin your entire run. All right, just stop being alive, god damn it. All right, now, over here, you'll notice a freaking D-pad. Let's go ahead and collect ourselves one of those. I'm sure those are valuable to somebody somewhere. Game collectors, probably. Although I don't know how many of those are gonna be on Hokatate. We don't really know much about how Hokatate really works. We know that they've mastered space travel, so I imagine they're at least moderately advanced, all things considered. Anyway, time to see what they think this is. The Stone of Glory! Fair enough. It was a pretty phenomenal invention. Let's be real here. All right. Seeing as how I heard the treasure detector wind itself back down, despite, once again, not existing, I dare say we're safe to go to the next floor. I also feel as if I've probably killed everything, so. Once everything's dead, there's not really a whole lot to worry about. Ain't nothing around to be able to do nothing to. Doodly-doo-doo-doo. Sub-level 2 of the Hole of Beasts. Perhaps new beasts of a much more heinous variety shall become apparent. Well, there's an egg. An egg might have some nectar in it. And yes, I am more than very aware of the sentence, that egg might have nectar in it, and how weird it sounds. Pikmin is weird, and it's not gonna make a lot of sense. You kinda gotta go with the flow sometimes, okay? All right, well, that's the way down. That's something that we're looking for. That most certainly is, indeed. All right, time to get ourselves some more purpley picks. I don't suppose there's at least 2 of these things? I mean, 3? Yeah, there's only 2. That's a bit of an issue. Oh, well. All right, so mild issue? Yeah, okay, well. Pikmin, I'm gonna need you to not bump into the dang thing. Makes the whole thing very complicated. All right, tossing Pikmin into these things brings them back down to being, to leaf heads, and no longer will have their buds. There we go. By all accounts, you can actually just kind of stand around and wait, and eventually, if you just leave them planted long enough, they will become buds and then flowers. That is a thing that you can do, but quite frankly, I don't really want to stand around doing absolutely nothing while I wait for that to happen. Just for the record, it is a viable option. If I were playing on my own time, perhaps I would, actually. Also, is that literally everything that there is? Wow, it's just straight up. All right, here you go. Have 10 more purple Pikmins. I mean, thank you. That's good and all. But I literally lost one of my purple Pikmin. So, unless you guys are going to give me one more Candy Pop Bud somewhere in this entire expedition, that's going to be an issue. I very much literally need 20. Well, actually, no, I don't. If I can put all 19 of them on there, that'll be like 190. Then I just need to put 10 red Pikmin. I can work around it. It would just, you know, I'd prefer if I had more than 20. And now we've reached the part where there are horrifying flame geysers. Lord only knows how that's supposed to work. Luckily for us, separate. There we go. The red Pikmin are entirely immune to fire, which is good. They can also attack and disable flame geysers, making it safe for the purples to walk around. That being said, let's just make sure that we take care of all those things right out the gates. And as let's just say, very deliberately just displayed, yeah, fire is gonna hurt like hell if you get hit by it, so, don't let Olimar get hit by it. Also, I believe that might be a Mahjong piece? Not entirely sure. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's just get rid of all the fire geysers. Literally all of them. There we go. There we go. Now there's literally nothing that can possibly harm any of the Pikmin. As far as I'm aware. Anyway, time for a Famicom Disk. The Famicom Disk system! And I'm pretty sure you guys got enough to grab this thing here too. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Just like that, 2 wonderful treasures. Right out the gate. Well, not right out the gate. We went down 2 floors before we ended up finding anything of real substantial value other than that derelict D-pad. But still, point is, we found more stuff and it didn't take that much effort in order to accomplish it, and it's pretty great. But what does the computer think? And as you can see, we're already very, very close to... We're like 10% of the way already done with our debt, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, it's a cosmic archive. I mean, admittedly, it is true. It does have a big pile of data inside of it. And by a big pile, I mean, like, less than 5 megabytes. But still, it was a lot at the time. These numbers were impressive at one point. The Strife Monolith! Which is weird, because that's probably one of the more chill, like, board game-esque things. I don't really know if you could call Mahjong a board game, but I can't think of anything else you could call it. Point is, it's very chill, actually. I've seen people get punched in the face over chess, but never Mahjong. I'll tell you that much. It's not even a joke, by the way. I actually did bear witness to 2 people getting into a fist fight over a chess game. Worst part is, neither of them even knew how to play chess. Okay. Just because I don't leave the house much, don't mean I don't have some interesting stories to tell. Like, those were dark days for me. Not necessarily the chess match thing. That was actually kind of hilarious. Because I did not like those 2 people. But the point remains. Anyway, Hole of Beasts! Still not even at the bottom, man. Still not even at the bottom. Alright then, we've got some Geysers. We've got a hole that only Pikmin are able to get through. I'll just toss some reds over there. They'll do a quick bip bop boobity bop. You know how it'd be. Okay, I'll toss over a couple more to bip bop boobity bop it a little bit faster. Thank you. Sneak our way over here where we'll find another candy pop bud. Heck yeah. There we go. Also, a single playing card. It's really light. Not a lot to concern yourselves over on that one. But there we go. Give me them purples. I have a deep fondness for the purple Pikmins. Sure, they do be mad slow. And that does cause a lot of problems. But they're just such good chunky boys. They don't mean no harm. They just want to be chunky. They can't help it. They just born chunky. Anyway. A Nintendo branded card! It's a luck wafer! Of course it is. What else could you possibly think it was? All right, over yonder, we find ourselves yet another one of these thingamaboos. Yep, all right. Temporarily set a purple Pikmin on fire, but it's okay. I was able to save it. If a Pikmin's head is caught on fire, you can actually very quickly whistle at them, and miraculously, it will save them. There we go. The purple Pikmin are so slow. I would really prefer if they had the buds more than anyone else. Anything over here? No, just a little. Oh god, just a bunch of demons. Okay, guys, I get it. You're scared, but like, knock it off. Why are you guys so scared? They're not that threatening. Quit freaking out on me. Yeah, for whatever reason, Pikmin are absolutely terrified of those things. Which is weird, because they're one of the few things that don't actually kill them. Alright, well, that's a thing that happened, I guess. Whatever. Now, don't mind me, just going to ruin this guy's existence. And that is why you always want to bring purple Pikmin. And yes, by the way, that is a whole ass Game & Watch console. Pretty nifty. Alright, also, carry that over too. Alright, hang on. Nope, everybody. Alright, I was able to prevent that from being an extraordinary tragedy. But still, I really feel like there were a lot of options available to the Pikmin that didn't involve walking right over a gigantic flaming geyser of death. They definitely did not have to do that. They could have walked around, but you need to account for the Pikmin's less than stellar intelligence. It's a dream architect! Specifically, this is the ball game, by the way. Otherwise known as Mr. Game & Watch's throw specials. Alright, well, the treasure detector powered down, so I know there's nothing left for us to get here. Except for more nectar. Definitely don't see a problem with that. Now, if you don't mind me, just going to absolutely get rid of that geyser, because I'm not going to trust Pikmin to be smart enough to not get themselves caught on fire. Alright, nectar! Alright, so something you gotta be super duper careful about when it comes to giving Pikmin nectar. Basically, if a single Pikmin touches it, they will consume the entire thing 100%. So you want to swarm as many of your Pikmin onto that thing as possible. Otherwise, you're going to end up wasting a giant pile. Yeah, you just don't want to do that. Just trust me on that. You don't want to do that. The good news is, literally all the Pikmin we've got with us now have flowers. They are as strong and fast and smart as they're ever going to be. Which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, isn't a whole lot. But, you know, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps out a lot. All right, missed the final. Yeah, it is. All right. Is it possible for, oh my God, we really are there already, huh? All right. Lot to say about this horrifying thing. All right, just to be on the safe side, yo, Pikmin, you mind? Just all, everybody hang out back here, okay? I'm gonna get a lay for the land here. Just gonna take a quick look-see here. Yeah, this is a Mama Bulborb. That's its face. That's its birther. Yeah, just in case you were unaware, yeah, Pikmin gets kind of weird, creepy, and gross at times. Yeah, as we fight this thing, babies are going to be splooping out of that thing. It's also going to be rolling around at the speed of sound. It's got places to go, got to follow its rainbow, and at the process, murder the ever-loving hell out of all your Pikmin. Alright, so, question. Could I maybe, like, I never actually elaborated on this. Olimar has a punch. It's not much, but he can sort of defend himself a little. So, wakey wakey. I need to murder you. No? Okay. Maybe if I bring a single Pikmin with me. I mean, well, I kind of wanted a single Pikmin just to be on the safe side. Okay, 5 will do. Okay, okay. Here's just hoping it gets a whiff of the Pikmin and is like, oh, I want to eat that. No? I just want to go about this in the most not stupid way possible. Oh, awesome. This little fellow has decided to pay tribute. Fantastic. All right, could you wake this thing up for me? Thank you. There we go. It's awake. All right, I'm actually gonna stick with the reds for this one. Okay, here we go. What you wanna do some of that, and then you're gonna wanna get them out of there. Anybody who's over there needs to stop being over there. Yeah, there we go. There was a single one. Okay, all right. All right, I guess it wants a little bit more. A little bit more death and destruction. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. When it does that, that's when it starts doing its roly-poly nonsense. And if any Pikmin get blown back too far, they're not gonna get out of the way in time. So just do big time damage, big time damage, big time damage. All right, now back it up, back it up, back it up, little ones. This isn't the most difficult or dangerous of boss fights in the game. Obviously, it's so early in the game for that sort of thing to be possible, but I digress. As I constantly stated, I have every desire to not let my Pikmin die horribly. Oh God, a lot of them are stuck under the haunches. Get over here, little dudes. You gotta be real careful with where you throw these things. They might get stuck under one of its many, many flabs. Also, it doesn't seem to be actually making babies. Maybe that's a later variant that we see and fight later. Anyway, keep throwing. We've got this thing. There we go. Now, try not to die from its corpse. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's absolutely whole test and gross. Anyway, check it out. It's a love tester. One of the old toys that Nintendo made before they made video games. How bizarre. This device is emitting black light. Must have been ingested by that creature. That's weird. What an absolutely repulsive life form. Our return to Hocotate cannot come soon enough. Anyway, it pointed that out because that's actually a super useful thing. I wonder what it is. Totally haven't been making any kind of allusions or reference to it this whole time. No siree, babo. Also, very convenient of this creature to make itself so much smaller so that we're actually able to drag it over here. And it is also worth 15 coins. Not bad, honestly. There we go. This is what you really want. Heck yeah! And our debt's 20% complete. Prototype Detector. This contraption seems to react when it approaches treasure. I'll connect it to my radar. The processing complete. The treasure gauge is now fully operational. There's the treasure detector. It will now appear on your monitor. The needle will move right as you approach treasure. It's kind of a hot and cold sort of thing. But when there's literally nothing, it'll just go blop. But the little gauge will, yeah, it'll turn grayscale and do that. There you go. But yeah, the closer to treasure you are, the more it'll beep and flip out and do all that good stuff. All right then, I managed to be able to get through this whole little cavern without losing anybody. Not bad, not bad. It's gonna get significantly more difficult and worse for me, yes, obviously, but you know, you gotta take your victories where you can find them. Plus, look at all the money we got. Not bad. I mean, we've completed 20%. 20% of our debt's already been completely wiped out. And we only lost a single Pikmin in total. Mathematically, it's less horrifying. But yes, that one Pikmin's death is still weighing on me. That's just who I am, people. His name was Doug. Poor Doug. You never asked for this life. Anyway. Ta-da-da-da! 20% of debt recovered! And yes, there is a 10% of debt recovered thing that shows up, too. We just didn't see it for obvious reasons. Okay. Die, evil demon monsters. Alright, as actually very, very tempting as it is to run over and try to get a little bit more done, it's probably more in our best interest to just try to boost up our numbers a little bit more. We've barely got any time left in the day, so... Oh, see, there's the treasure detector going off right then and there. That tells you all you need to know. There is, in fact, a treasure super duper nearby. To the point where I'm actually a little confused. Maybe it's one of those buried underneath the ground type dealies. Yeah, there are treasures that are buried underground, and it's a bit of an issue, honestly. Why are so many of you just chilling out over here? Good lord. Try to figure some things out for yourselves in the end, my goodness. Alrighty, not bad. I'd say that's a pretty productive day. We can call it in. We can call it in. By heading over yonder. Actually, hang on. Items! Check it out. You see literally all of these things? These are things that make our lives infinitely easier, but we need to find them first. We got some glove upgrades, some boot upgrades, the other half of the globe, some kind of bag, 3 suits, a whistle, 2 whistles actually, and I think a flashlight. I don't remember literally everything that you get in this game. Point is, those are all things that I want. Anyway, let's head back to the ship. Yep, let's end the day. We are good to go. And with all these perps, we know that everything's gonna be okay. We'll be able to make big time progress next time too. Not for lack of trying on the little monster, but you ain't getting yourself any food today. You know, it's interesting that the bulk of what could be considered the monsters and enemies of this game really legitimately just are creatures trying to, you know, survive. The same thing literally all species do. To call them any more evil than anything else is just factually incorrect. They're no more evil than a ferret, is all I'm getting at. Anyway. We remember the dead in this household! How's progress, Olimar? Remember, you'll never get anything done if you sit back and watch from afar. Be sure to hold R occasionally for a close-up view of the action. Thank you, Mr. President, for that unnecessary tutorial reminder. I appreciate you and your funky mustache. He's a good guy. A goober, but he's a good guy. Bum-ba-da-bum! Alright, let's take another quick little look-see-loos over onto our Piccolopedias and our treasure hoard and see what we got. Loaded, we found a lot of things! Sheer grub, female. Alright, the female versions don't do nothing. Gotcha. The Hemagababa mandabalusa, mandibald family. The males of this species are purple and black creatures with tapered mouths, while the females are lighter in color and lack an armored exoskeleton. As with most mandiblards, these creatures have regressed to the point where they have lost both legs and wings. They can be seen crawling around on the ground and are believed to feed on the vegetable extracts from the congealed fluids of expired Pikmin. Gross! Basically all the exact same thing as before. This specimen is a male sheer grub. Having lost both legs and wings, the male burrows into the soil and waits to ambush small creatures that pass by. Excuse me, this beast's mandibles can be dangerous, making creatures such as Pikmin easy prey, if you're not paying attention. Cloaking Baronet, the Trilobilatinus reclusivia of the Baronet family. The snake-eyed pattern on this beast's shell is one of the most distinctive features of the Baronet family. The red pattern on the cloaking Baronet and the spikes around its mantle make it easily identifiable while still making it a representative species of the Baronet family. The shell on the cloaking Baronet's back also provide a frame that fixes its muscular structure in place, and appears to give the creature its powerful needle-launching attack. Very messed up. A honey wisp! A honey wisp of the Nectara fatuus honey wisp family. This floating life form drifts effortlessly on the winds. Upon death, its physical structure instantly collapses, and as the creature is particularly elusive and difficult to catch, no sample specimens have been acquired as of yet. If it could simply recover a live sample, research of this species would likely proceed more smoothly. Yeah, that tends to be the case. And then there's this jerk. The creeping Chrysanthemum. Well, wake up! See, you can actually see its little eyes there. There you go. Of the Taxicum Rovina Chrysanthemum family. Like Pikmin, the creeping Chrysanthemum is a member of a group of creatures with obligatory... How did you hurt yourself, you moron? Obligatory root structures. This creature is known as a mimic, but because it is actually a form of plant, this label is not entirely accurate. For unknown reasons, the creeping Chrysanthemum's mimicry does not fool Pikmin. Perhaps because they share a similar heritage. It relies on preying upon creatures to provide sustenance, so it has no need for leaves for photosynthesis. Generally speaking, the role of plants within an ecosystem is a producer species, and thus plants are generally found at the bottom of the food pyramid. However, on this strange planet, the line between producer plants and consumer plants is blurred. More than a little. It's the common glowcap of the Fungi Luminarium. Glowclap family. The light emitted from this rare mushroom is neither a reflection nor a release of stored light. It grows not only on decomposing trees, but also on soil and rocks. This mushroom's fungal filaments are capable of stabilizing and concentrating pure Hocotanium 111. It is none other than Hocotanium 111 approaching the point of critical mass that causes the Glowclap's blue luminescence. I'll take your word for it, my dude. Horsetail, Equestius vincicio, or Vincio, whatever. Horsetail family. This variety of horsetail is prevalent in regions with low nutrient content of the soil. Unlike most other plants, this particular species propagates itself through the release of spores. And that's really all I have to say about that. Margaret, the luminous Chrysanthemum family. This plant's delicate yellow flowers often inspire waves of nostalgia, giving a bittersweet feeling to any who gaze upon them. So he says. And Empress Bullblacks! Throw carrots at its fatty mass! It's not interested in it. Empress Bullblacks, Oculus matriarchia of the Grubdog family. Initial observations place doubt on the capability of the Grubdog family to support a strong ant or bee-like social structure, but recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity. The egg sac of the largest female grub dog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males not involved in species reproductions undergo natural sex changes. The characteristics of such specimens are quite intriguing indeed. So, there's a little bit of lore for you. Bulborbs basically just become whatever's most needed at the time. What a strange pattern. When I look at it, I can feel good fortune smiling down on me. If I could just buy a lottery ticket right now, I'm sure I'd win. That's a dangerous line of thinking. This is a peculiar object. Just looking at it fills me with a powerful sense of nostalgia. Now that I think about it, the Pikmin had a curious look on their faces when they carried it. Maybe that was just my imagination. Hard to say. They're kind of hard to read. At night, I have nothing to do to keep me occupied. I've been searching for something to dull the boredom, but every time I find something I want to play with, it's broken. This object is a great example. It looks fascinating, but I can't get it to function. I guess all I have to do is write in my journal. Which is why he does this at all, by the way. He's just fighting the crippling boredom! Computers view the world in ones and zeros, but my people are different. Our world isn't simply black or white, right or wrong. Everybody is different. Maybe one day the ship will understand that, and maybe one day it won't give me sass when I ask it to collect a slimy specimen. The cave we searched today was lined with flame-spewing spouts. Flame-spewing spouts, spewing spouts, spewing spouts. Yep, that is a tongue twister. The temperature in the cave was absolutely stifling. Ugh, that reminds me, I completely forgot to tell Louie about Red Pikmin. He's so quiet, I sometimes forget he's even there. This item I salvaged from the cave seems to be some kind of storage device, but I have no way to play it back the contents. Not unless we find a whole-ass Famicom. And, I mean, if the Game & Watch toy ain't working, I doubt that would be functional. Today, we searched a subterranean lair swarming with carnivorous bugs. The name Hole of Beasts immediately came to mind. The convenient contraption I found there has become an invaluable treasure-seeking tool. When it approaches a piece of treasure, the gadget beeps and the needle moves to the right. When all of the treasure in an area has been collected, the device powers down. When we left Hocotate, I thought we'd never be able to pay off the company's debt. But thanks to this gadget, I'm feeling optimistic about the outcome of this daring mission. I mean, honestly, we already almost reached 10% of our goal without it, so I was feeling pretty good right at the gate, if I'm being completely honest with you. And ding dong way, I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed our first few expeditions. In the next part, we'll be jumping back down into the Awakening Wood and using our Pikmin's mighty girth to push down that giant paper bag so that we can find more treasures and more dangers. Who knows what horrors await us? Only I and the people that have played this game in advance do. And boy howdy are some of the things we're going to be going up against messed up. See you all then!
引っこ抜かれてあなただけについてゆく今日も運ぶ戦う増えるそして食べられるほったかされて